Do you ever wonder what it really takes to succeed in life? Is it staying safe and avoiding risks, or stepping into challenges and embracing the unknown? Today, we'll share a heartwarming story of a boy, his wise grandfather, and two trees that hold the secret to achieving greatness. Stick with us till the end. This story might just change how you see life and its obstacles. In the peaceful village of Willowbrook, a young boy named Evan, just 10 years old, loved visiting his grandfather Arthur, who was known in the village for his wisdom and calm demeanor. Arthur's small cottage was surrounded by nature, with lush fields, tall trees, and vibrant flowers everywhere. One sunny afternoon, as Evan sat with his grandfather under a big oak tree, he asked, "Grandpa, how can I become successful in life? What do I need to do?" Arthur smiled and said, "Success is a journey, my boy, not a destination. Let me show you something instead of just telling you." Intrigued, Evan followed his grandfather to the nearby village nursery. There, Arthur bought two small saplings. One was a fragile-looking plant with delicate green leaves, and the other was slightly sturdier but still small. "Why are we buying these, Grandpa?" Evan asked curiously. Arthur replied, "These saplings will help answer your question about success. Come along." Back at the cottage, Arthur planted one of the saplings in a clay pot and placed it inside his cozy living room by the window. The other sapling he planted in the open yard, under the vast blue sky. Once both saplings were planted, Arthur turned to Evan and asked, "What do you think, Evan? Which one of these plants will grow bigger and stronger in the future?" Evan thought for a moment and then replied confidently, "The one inside the house will grow better because it's safe from all dangers. No storms, no strong sunlight, no animals to harm it." Arthur smiled knowingly but said nothing. "We'll see," he replied. Evan spent a few more days at his grandfather's house before leaving with his parents. The image of the two saplings stuck in his mind, but as time passed, he forgot about them. 4 years later, now a teenager, Evan visited his grandfather again during the summer holidays. He had grown taller and wiser, but he was still unsure about what it took to succeed in life. When Evan arrived, he found Arthur sitting in his favorite spot under the big oak tree. Evan ran to him and hugged him tightly. "Grandpa, I missed you." Arthur smiled warmly. "I missed you too, Evan. You've grown so much. Tell me, do you still want to know the secret to success?" "Yes, Grandpa, I do. But this time I need a clear answer," Evan replied eagerly. Arthur chuckled. "Very well. But first, let me show you something." Arthur led Evan to the plant that he had kept inside the house. It had grown taller, but not by much. Its thin trunk was fragile, and its leaves were few. The plant was alive, but it looked weak and small. "This is the sapling we planted in the pot inside the house," Arthur said. Then Arthur took Evan to the yard, where the second sapling had been planted. Evan's eyes widened in amazement. Before him stood a mighty tree, its branches spreading wide, its leaves vibrant and plentiful. The tree's trunk was thick and sturdy, and its roots dug deep into the ground. "Grandpa, this is incredible!" Evan exclaimed. "The tree outside grew so big and strong. But how? It had to face storms, heat, and animals. I thought the plant inside would grow better because it was safe." Arthur smiled and said, "Yes, Evan, this tree faced many challenges, but those very challenges made it strong. The storms forced its roots to grow deeper into the soil for stability. The sun helped it grow taller to reach the light. Even the animals that tried to harm it made it more resilient. The plant inside the house, however, was protected from every danger, but it also had no room to grow. Its roots couldn't spread, and it had no need to fight for survival. It stayed small and weak because it avoided every challenge." Arthur placed a hand on Evan's shoulder and said, "Evan, life is much like these two plants. If you always choose the easy and comfortable path, you might feel safe, but you'll never truly grow. Challenges, hardships, and obstacles are what make you stronger, smarter, and more capable. Never think of problems as enemies. They are the steps that lead you towards success. If you're willing to face the storms of life and keep growing despite the difficulties, no goal will ever be out of your reach." Evan looked at the massive tree, its branches swaying gently in the wind, and nodded slowly. "I understand now, Grandpa. Success isn't about avoiding problems. It's about facing them head on and learning from them." Arthur smiled proudly. Exactly, my boy. Remember, success isn't handed to you. It's earned through perseverance and resilience. That evening, as Evan sat alone by the window, he reflected on his grandfather's words. He realized that many times in his life, he had chosen comfort over challenge. He avoided risks because he feared failure. But now, he understood that failure wasn't the opposite of success. It was a stepping stone toward it. Evan made a promise to himself. From now on, he would embrace challenges, no matter how difficult they seemed. He would step out of his comfort zone and take risks to grow, just like the tree outside. Years later, Evan grew up to become a successful entrepreneur. His journey wasn't easy. He faced failures, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But every time he encountered a challenge, he remembered his grandfather's words and the lesson of the two trees. One day, while addressing a group of young students, Evan shared the story of his grandfather and the two saplings. He ended with these words: "Life is like a great adventure, filled with twists and turns that may seem like obstacles. But these challenges are not barriers. They are opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Embrace the storms of life, for they will make you who you are meant to be. Remember, no tree grows tall and mighty by staying safe in a pot." The audience erupted into applause, inspired by the story and its powerful lesson. Challenges are not the enemy, they are your greatest teachers. Avoiding problems may feel safe, but it also limits your growth. True success comes from embracing the storms of life, learning from them, and using them to grow stronger. Never fear failure, and never seek comfort at the expense of growth. Just like the tree outside, let your roots grow deep, your branches spread wide, and your spirit rise tall.